I don't think the smile ever left your face today. I don't.
No, I
Every
was.
time I looked at you, you were smiling.
Yeah, I was having a blast out there. It was just good to be back out with the guys. I missed them a lot. They just got back from a road trip, so it was good to see them.
How did it feel for you? I mean, physically, just to get out there and kind of push it a little bit.
Unreal. I mean, it felt great just to get up and down the sheet with the guys. Some drills I couldn't jump in. I didn't want to disrupt the flow of the four lines, but anything that I could jump in, I did.
Had you kind of pushed it on your own at all before getting out there, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I was skating by myself with Dorsett, and we were getting pretty good reps in, skating quite a bit. I was getting confident in my turns and crossovers and stuff, so figured I'd be able to be confident out there with those guys, and I went well.
When you go through an injury like that one, I mean, they're rare, but they do happen, obviously. How much of a concern is it, like when you're coming back from that is my full stride and everything else going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have full confidence that it's going to come back, and I'm not exactly where I want to be yet. But it takes time, and it's a weird injury to try and gauge. But yeah, building the confidence back in my calf and in my ankle is going to be the biggest mental hurdle, and probably the biggest hurdle to get back into games.
When it happened, sorry to go all the way back. We haven't talked to you in a while. Did you know what happened right away?
I've never been cut that deep before, so my mind went to the worst case scenario. I was like, oh, like my whole Achilles gone. My foot wasn't working properly and stuff. And when I stepped back down, like I didn't feel like any bounce off my heel. It felt like mushy and stuff. It was kind of gross, and I started freaking out. And the doctor came in and said, no, like the Achilles tendon's fine. So that was kind of a big relief. Went back to Columbus, got some tough news that it was going to be 8 weeks. Wasn't 8 weeks. Took a little bit longer to heal. It's a weird injury. Not everybody has the most amount of experience with these types of injuries, so it took a little bit longer, but just glad to be back on the ice now.
How will you look back on your rookie season?
Obviously, like hit ups and downs. I mean, starting to hit my stride up until that January point, and obviously got hurt and stuff. But I think being away from the guys was probably the toughest part. I mean, I just love being around the guys a lot, so being able to do that now and you kind of take it for granted when you're on the road trips and stuff, but it's definitely a lot of fun. It's stuff that you miss, so I'm going to look back at it fondly. I mean, I had a lot of fun, and I thought I learned quite a bit, so it's kind of the way.
At what point did you get to where you knew you weren't going to come back for the regular season?
It was probably about a week ago. I was trying to get back for 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. I was trying to get back for anything that I could. Just wasn't quite there yet. I wasn't going to risk hurting it anymore, having any compensation injuries, anything that could put me out longer. I didn't think it was worth it in that sense to come back for 1 game and possibly put myself out for any longer into the summer. So just playing it safe right now and trying to get back as soon as I can.
And give us a sense of what that kind of injury is like. If you have a sprain or something like that, or a knee injury, you can kind of understand that. But a cut like that, where does it impact you, and how could you tell you weren't quite ready?
It's just like the strength. I mean, like you kind of don't really realize it, but as soon as I was in the boot for 8 weeks, and then when you get out and try to start walking, I already didn't have the biggest calves of all time, so they definitely lost some size there. But like walking and getting that first little step off, that first ½ inch off the ground is definitely the hardest part. And then from there you try and get like bounce back, rolling off your ankle, and it's definitely baby steps and kind of teach yourself how to walk. I feel no pain at this point, but I still have a bit of a limp from being in the boot for so long, so just trying to get rid of that and be walking normally again is the goal.
Were you surprised that you didn't need any kind of surgery or anything?
Yeah.
Because it's so deep.
It was definitely really deep. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures and stuff, but the way it was feeling was
saw it live. It was
We didn't see pictures.
in St. Louis
No
when you were
sugar.
hopping around.
yeah, the way it was feeling was pretty scary. So
Yeah.
Have you been through an 8-week injury or 12-week injury, whatever it's been? Have you been through something like this before?
nothing during the season. I've never been
Yeah.
out this long during a season before, so yeah, it's definitely was tough, and it was a learning curve. So
Yeah. How tough was patience throughout all of that? Is that the hardest thing?
go ask the trainers.
You guys still friends?
Yeah, they every single day I was like, "Could you get on the ice yet?" Absolutely not. All right, sounds
Yeah.
good. I was always in their ear trying to get back on the ice, and I had them build me like they were nice enough to build me a little block that I could go out and stand on the ice and wear my boot and still shoot pucks and stick handle and stuff. So I was kind of losing my mind, and they were doing everything they can to try to use that. So they were awesome.
Yeah. There's really no way that you could probably prevent that. You were wearing the Kevlar socks, right?
I had 3 layers on. Our game socks have 2 layers of Kevlar in the back, and then I had the socks on, and who knows? Maybe it would have been a lot worse if I wasn't wearing them. You don't really know, but yeah, I'm glad I was wearing them. You never really know what kind of outcome can come from that, so I'm happy it wasn't as bad as what it could have been.
Did you go back and look at the play?
Yeah, I've watched it 100 times.
If you thought like
Still can't really see it.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody thought like I lost a blade or something, but
Right.
yeah, it was just such a quick play. I felt it right away, and yeah, it's not much you can do.
Olivier saw it like up in the
Yeah.
box with me, like, and he was like, "I'm afraid of Achilles," and I was like, "Really?" And then we had to look at it over and over. So
Yeah, it was.
you watch it slow mo.
I've watched in slow mo. I finally got an angle where I could see the blade
Yeah.
going on the back, and it makes sense. It's still like on my skates. It still has a little bit of a gash on the
does
tongue
it
and stuff.
really?
It went pretty far, so it was definitely just a weird play, but
Yeah.
it happens, part of the game.
I was gonna say, there's nothing you can really do to avoid that. I mean, you're just going for a normal hit.
Yeah, I
right,
mean,
at
I was
that
just
point.
kind of finishing my check there, nothing crazy, and
Sure.
it ended up he jumped into all players do use the glasses protection there, and came back down and it just happened to be there. It was weird.
When you see an injury like that down there, do you think about the neck guard?
Yeah, I do. My parents have been on me quite a bit about that, so I might try and start wearing one this offseason and get used to it. And I don't know. I feel like it's something a lot of guys should be wearing. I want to try and get into wearing it, especially with what happened earlier in the season. That was really, really scary. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and get into it.
If you're invited, would you think you would be able to make it for Worlds?
Yeah, it's not out of the question. I mean, that's something I'm working towards right now. It's always an honor to wear the maple leaf and play for your country, especially going overseas to do so. If that opportunity comes around, I'd love to, but it's just a matter of getting healthy right now.
Is that something that, like, if you could do that because of all this lost time you've had, that could maybe help make up a little bit for some of that?
Yeah, I mean, I only got 49 games in, so anytime I can play more hockey right now would be great. Just more experience being in that pro-style setting as much as possible, and learning as much as I can from older guys is where I'm at.
The GM's right upstairs.
Yeah, I know.
Donuts and coffee.
Yeah.
Knock on the door.